you know, for everybody who's out there who's a player, you know, don't forget that the instrument is just an amplifier for your own ideas. They originate here. They originate here, here, here. And so if you can verbalize them, you know, don't even call it singing. You know, it's not about pitches or anything necessarily. It's just the idea of verbalizing your own ideas and then being able to try to execute them on your instrument. I think that's a very, very, very big part of linking your voice with your instrument. And again, why we practice the technical aspects to be able to make those seamless. But I did, you know, I did take I have taken vocal lessons in the past through university as a secondary, and now and then I'll still take some to kind of spot check it. And so if I have what I call a gig where I know that I'll be doing a lot of singing, then you know, maybe a couple weeks before I'll kind of do the right exercises and stuff to prepare and gain strength. Much like playing an instrument, nothing gives you the same endurance as performing the pieces that you're going to be doing. So that's where I get the most, you know, experience and strength with it. But there was a time several years ago where I didn't feel like both voices were lining up. I couldn't tell, you know, they were just kind of fighting a little bit, or, you know, and my singing voice can tend to be a little smoky or bluesy, and my trumpet is like fiery and bright. So I had to really focus on finding ways to synthesize those two, both in timbre and ideas, I guess. So there are some games that I'll play, like I don't have perfect pitch, so I'll just. Me neither.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I don't care. There's nothing I can do about it now. But you know, I'll just sing it up and grab my horn
and shoot.
Try to play it.
Yeah.
You know, ear training exercises like that, one note at a time, and then add a second note to it. Just kind of play back and forth, call and response with myself. Those are ways to synthesize those voices. But as far as instruments, you know, the breath support is the same. The difference being the mouthpiece buzz happens here. With vocal cords, it happens here. So I've spent a little bit of time studying the instruments to understand how that happens, how resonance happens here. I think, I mean, ultimately, they have informed each other in a good way. When I play melodies, I'm definitely playing the lyrics to a song more often than not, which help with the interpretation. And when I sing a song, I'll often embellish it a little bit like a horn player. Sometimes I'll even just, you know, to help me get my pitch, I'm like,
you're like behind your back, you're like fingering the entire thing.
I'm not one of those people that, you know, pretends, but I do use it as like a little spot check to know the intervals.
Yeah. It's just, well, that's cool. I mean, that's what you already kind of answered what I was going to ask. How do they inform each other? Because, I mean, well, a couple things. I notice any trumpet player also has great pitch control when it comes to singing, just because naturally they're working on that aspect so much more than any other instrumentalist that also sings. There's just any trumpet player I met who's like, I can sing, or they just have such a good control of that already. I'm not saying they're you know, top singer, but they get that control just as a byproduct of that instrument.
Yeah, it's almost like a target practice. How much support do I need to get this note for this long?